I turned 13 the day after a storm came in with a king tide. High tides climb up part of the shore, but a king tide can make the whole beach disappear. It squeezed Murphy Island until seawater rose and salted the trees. The smell of waves pushed through the woods, through the cracks around my bedroom window, and washed away the dregs of a bad dream. People notice details when they hope a day might be special. It could be a surprise visitor day, a "hey, I'm starting to grow a mustache" day, or a blow out the candles on your favorite cake day. I found my mom on the computer in my brother Carlos's old room. I stood in the doorway behind the desk where she couldn't see my leg. I am an expert at keeping furniture between us, especially when it's hot enough for shorts. Even with the desk and me standing with my good leg in front of the bad one, Mom was careful not to look down. She hugged me and sang "Happy Birthday" like an opera singer. I clapped for the effort. "Where are Dad and little Letty?" I asked. I thought they might be out getting me a present. My sister always waits until the last minute. Or they've gone to the bakery to pick up a cake. Dad used to make our favorites at home, but he's working more this year. "They're down at Gertrude Lake. Everyone's down there," she said. Everyone but us. She brushed dog hair off the keyboard and straightened a stack of bills. "Your dad saw it this morning." Saw what? The first thing I thought of couldn't be right, but she said it anyway. "He saw Marvolo." She smiled again, like that was good news, or a joke, or the start of a conversation. She stretched and turned back to the computer, scrolling through recipes and fishing reports. There was nothing to say back. Marvolo is a creature that supposedly lives in Gertrude Lake, in the middle of the island. Optimistic tourists rent paddle boats and pump quarters into the telescopes on the beach, hoping to see it. There's a warning at the paddle boat stand that boaters might get eaten. It's a joke with the locals. Every year, Marvolo is spotted before the Marvolo Festival. Bits and blurry pictures could be a lake monster if you squint, or they could be logs. We have a lot of logs. I walked slowly over the squishy mud so my leg wouldn't be too sore on the way back home. I almost stepped on a salamander, but I shooed him off the path into the ferns. Islands are shaped like things, the way clouds are shaped like things. On a map, Murphy looks like a wonky avocado half, 37 miles from the mainland. Rocky beaches and smooth mudflats are the skin, and Gertrude Lake is the pit. Everything else is the creamy green stuff that goes brown if you leave it out. Dad stood with the pack of friends he calls comrades beside a gazebo that Mom helped build out of old farm equipment and blue bottles. The bottles hummed from a lake breeze, and Dad waved his arms toward the water. "Just 40 feet that way," he said. "It's spy-hopped and breached like a humpback, but leaner and more serpent-like. He splashed down hard enough to slosh a wake-up onto the shore." Dad pointed to his still wet shoes. The guys around him nodded, and the waiter came out from the cafe across the street to sell coffee and pastries to everyone standing around. "Hey, buddy, ready for summer?" Tom with the beard tilted his head and smiled at me. He runs the paddle boat stand, and he's not my buddy. He asked how physical therapy was going, like he should get points for knowing about it. I said I was done, and he said I was brave and squeezed my shoulder, which is the absolute worst. I shrugged, and he left to rent a paddle boat to a tourist. Somebody could ride a blue cat boat or a purple fox boat out to look for Marvolo. Tom with the beard must have left the paddle boats unchained because a couple of them drifted around the lake like lost pets. Little Letty sat in the orange zebra boat, still chained to the dock. She threw a basketball up and caught it, over and over. "Newt, come here." Dad pulled me in for a hug. "Happy birthday, mijo. 13. You feel different?" I shook my head. "Can you believe it?" I didn't know if he was talking about turning 13 or Marvolo. My answers would have been yes and no, but he didn't wait. He spun around when someone asked about the reward. A cryptozoology club in Portland offered $3,000 a while back to anyone who could prove that Marvolo lived in the lake. The lake isn't huge. It's a pretty safe bet that the club will never have to write that check, no matter what Dad says. The club has reward offers for Sasquatch and jackalopes, too. It's that kind of operation.